Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Megs and this is The Painted Lip. I'm very excited to talk about this video and it's all about the Sephora sale that is currently going on. So keep watching and subscribe, like down below, and we'll get right into it. Hi guys, so as I mentioned, we are talking about the Sephora VIB sale. I'm going to get right into it because it could be a fairly lengthy video and I want to get outside and enjoy this beautiful weather that I am seeing and feeling, and I'm sweating already, so it's fantastic. It's probably about 18 degrees outside and I'm here for it. So, okay, I'm going to start with things that we would that I would use probably in conjunction with makeup. Makeup's going to come in a bit, but let's talk about skincare, hair care, and all that first, and then we'll get into the other stuff. So let's talk about skincare. Before I put any kind of makeup on, obviously I'm going to wash my face, use some serums if need be, and moisturizer. Unfortunately, I don't have a moisturizer that I feel I want to talk about it from Sephora, but I do have some other products, of which is this one from Ren. This is the Ready Steady Glow Daily AHA Tonic. It has a lactic acid in it. I just got a small little sample kit. This one has 50 mils in it. I don't use this on the daily. I use this probably every second, every third day whenever my skin feels like it needs a little boost, a little assistance when I have like the dry flaky, especially around the nose area. So I really quite like this. And then my handy dandy SPF. This is probably one of my favorites. I don't use this necessarily exclusively, but this is the one that I keep buying over and over and over again. This is the Kula, the name is worn off, the Kula Mineral Skin Sunscreen. It's an SPF of 30 and it does have a matte finish, so if you are like myself who can be a little oilier, shinier, this is a nice kind of, I guess I want to say primer to the face, because there are like dimethicone type silicone products in it as ingredients, so it does actually help as a makeup base, but I really enjoy the fact that it is a mineral sunscreen. It does have a little bit of a white cast to it, but that very quickly dissipates and absorbs, and it really is quite a lovely sunscreen. Never really had a problem with it. Doesn't congest my pores like some chemical sunscreens do, so that's why I really like this one. As for hair, as you can see, my hair is 1, curly. This is kind of its natural state with some products in it. 2, colored. 3, thin, and very fine. So I have some products I really enjoy using. Some shampoos. I do like some Verb shampoos, but nothing. I also use some Kevin Murphy, which aren't sold at Sephora, but there are some products that I do like to use, of which is this one from Verb. This is a really great C texture spray. It has some hold, a little bit of grit, and some volume. It also helps with some curls, gives you that wavy kind of beachy feel. Along the same lines as this one from Orbe, this is just a small little travel size. This is a dry texturizing spray. It's going to give you that hold and that volume. Doesn't give you that stickiness that some of these sea salt sprays can. This isn't as bad as like the IGK one. I use the IGK one as well. I do like that, but especially when I just want easy breezy kind of hair, these are some really good ones. Along the same lines of hair, would be a tool that I've been using for quite a while now. I really like this one from Amika when I want a blowout. This makes my hair look fantastic. It's kind of, it goes bouncy. It does get a little hot in through here, the middle, and it is bulky and a little heavy, so that takes some getting used to, but very easy to use and really quick to use because it dries the hair as you're kind of, it's like round brushing, but I don't have the coordination to do the hairdryer and the round brush at the same time, but it gives you the same kind of feel, and it gives my hair a nice shine to it, as well as being, my hair is also very frizzy, so this helps with that. I do have the Dyson Air Wrap. I prefer the Amika when it comes to some of the accessories, but the Dyson's really nice for the curls if you want to blow dry your curls and have those kind of waves. in it as well. You need to buy some more. These are the Shiseido cotton squares that I've been using since about 2006. I'm generally not without them. I will have to say that I've been using these less and less, not because of anything to do with their quality or I don't find it, I mean, they work beautifully. I've also been trying to use reusable cottons that you wash and so forth, but I do still use these, especially on those heavy duty when I'm wearing like a lot of makeup or creamier products. I'll use the cotton rounds for that. Okay, so I think I've touched upon everything there that I wanted to, and then we'll go through right from the basis to the base through to other things. So today I'm actually wearing some the products that some of the products I've suggested in my collection. So, and I'm also going to mention some stuff that I want to pick up probably within talking. I don't know if I want to do that maybe separately. I'm not too sure quite yet. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is after I've prepped the skin, moisturized, and put on my SPF, I maybe want to give a little glow to my skin. So I have a couple of products within my collection that do that, but one of the ones that I really like to use and I've actually bought 2 different colors in is this one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I have it in the shade 4, which I'm using today, which is medium. It's a little dark, but it helps kind of warm up my skin a little bit. And then I also have the shade 2 when I'm in the dead of winter, and you know, it matches the skin a little bit better and helps highlight and give a glow. There are other products out there that do similar things, but these ones in particular I really quite like. So I don't really use a primer. This good for me, good moisturizing, and even something like this does help with that too. So the next thing I like to use, depending on the day, would be either I'm going to conceal the face or in certain areas that I want and let the rest of the skin kind of be its lovely self, or I'm going to use a foundation. So I am a bit of a foundation hoe. Hello, my name is Megan. If you are new to this channel, I love foundations, but I also love eyeshadows. But foundations, I have quite a bit and I have quite an opinion on them. Let's start with the ones that I use on the regular and the ones that I really like, especially if you want a sheer kind of formula. I have my typical favorite kind of formula would be a light to medium kind of coverage, some luminosity to it, and I would say that would be it. Very rarely will you see me in a full matte, very rarely will you see me in a full coverage, but not to say I don't have them. So I'm going to start with this one. This is the Reboot. It's what I'm wearing today. I have it in the shade Y315. This is a fantastic, great all-around foundation. It does what it says it does. Your skin looks like skin, and that's exactly what I want. It gives a little bit of luminosity. It smooths out coverage. It gives you a nice even tone, and I absolutely love this formula. Another one that I've been using and have repurchased is this one from Natasha Denona. This is a little bit thicker, it's a little bit more coverage. It's the Face Glow foundation I have in the shade 20. It's a little bit light for me right now, but I like it because it has a pump to it, and I like the packaging, and I like the finish of it. It does have a bit of a scent to it, so just be cognizant of that. Another one that I have actually in a few shades is this one's a classic. It's from Giorgio Armani. It's the Luminous Silk foundation. I have it in the shade 5 and 5.5 for the summertime. Beautiful, beautiful tone. I love it for my skin at the moment. It's a really nice match, and it again gives you a luminosity without being super shiny or dewy. My skin is more mature. It's normal to maybe a little oily or dehydrated. I have enlarged pores, and I have some texture to my skin, or I feel I do. But I find these ones that I'm mentioning work really well and don't sink into those lines, crevices, or pores. Next one that I absolutely adore ever since I bought it, went in kind of blind with it, but this is from Guerlain, and this is L'Essentiel, and I have it in the shade 2N. They have launched a new one. I think that's more matte, I want to say, but this one is a natural glow, has 16-hour wear, and I love everything about it, including the bottle and the shade and the finish. The one thing, I shouldn't say I love everything about it because the scent is quite prominent when you first use it, but everything other than that is quite gorgeous. Love it. I might need to get a new bottle because it's been a little while since I've owned that. Speaking of a little while since I've owned it, is this one from Givenchy. Remember how I mentioned I'm not a big matte fan? Well, this is matte, but it's beautiful. It's a soft, luminous matte. And this is, it says even on it, Radiant Matte Foundation. It's the, I never say this right, Matissime Velvet Foundation. I have in the shade 3.5 Sand, and it is just that. It is a matte without being flat, and it's really quite beautiful. I find it very skin-like, and I would say it's about a light medium coverage, and just a beautiful finish. I like wearing it, especially in photographs. If I want the skin to kind of be not taking necessarily center stage, but just have a beautiful finish and coverage. Next one, this is going to be more definitely of a matte full coverage, but with skin still kind of looks like skin without like a mask, but it can go there very quickly if you're not careful. This is the Vision Cream Cover by Danessa Myricks. Danessa is new to Sephora, but not new to the makeup world, nor to my collection. I've had this now for a bit, so I've been able to play with it. It's well loved. You can see how gunky it is. It is a fuller coverage. You can use it as a concealer, so there is some versatility there, not like with every foundation. It is 15 mils, but it's really pigment. The pigment load in here is crazy. I'm not too sure if it's like on the par with what Cover FX used to be with like a 40 pigment load, but it is very pigmented. A drop will do you. You can sheer it out, as I've said already, and you can build it up. I do get a little shiny with this probably after, I would say, the 4-hour mark, but I'm not a big fan of full coverage, but if I were going to use a full coverage, I would probably use this one. Okay, still going on with foundations. I know there's a lot. One of my favorite kind of tinted sheerer light kind of foundation would be the MAC's Face and Body. That's my go-to for very sheer, but I didn't know we can get MAC at Sephora, but I'm not sure if we can get Face and Body, so I'm gonna talk about other ones. This one is from Laura Mercier. It does offer, maybe I would say sheer to light kind of coverage. I have it in the shade 3N1 Sand. I used this when I was in Mexico, so this is just a travel size and it's lasted me fairly well. It's a 25 mil. I love the glow it gives me. The coverage is perfect, and I really, really enjoy it. Another one that's kind of similar lines, maybe just a tad more coverage. This was I bought last year. It's in the shade 4.5, and it's the Neo Nude True to Skin Natural Glow Foundation. I would say that's a perfect kind of description of it. It's not dewy, it's not super radiant or luminous, but it does have, you know, a very skin-like texture. I like that it's a squeezy tube. Really nice foundation. Yeah, if you just want kind of that light buildable coverage. One of my favorite foundations is this one from Estee Lauder. This is the Futurist Hydra Rescue and SPF 45. I love this. I have in the shade Desert Beige, so that's 2N1, and it's absolutely stunning. My skin looks beautiful every time I use it. Might be a little bit on the lighter side for me right now, but love this stuff. Fantastic. Again, they're all very similar in terms of the finishes I like, so just if you're not into that, then you may not like these. I think you can find this one maybe at Sephora, so I will mention it. This is my all-time favorite. This is by Kogendo. This is the Aqua foundation, and I have it in shade 113. I'm looking at getting a shade 123 because this is going to be for me when I'm at my absolute lightest. I can't wear this during the summertime. I find it maybe a little too heavy for summer in terms of coverage. Is not what I want. I can get I sweat easily, okay? So for me to wear like a full face of makeup, you generally will not find me wearing that, but I love this foundation. This is like, I love it. Like, it's expensive, but it's worth it. I love the pump. I think I almost prefer, I don't know if I prefer this one to the old formula, but you know, either way, it's just a luminous skin. It's like perfected. It looks gorgeous. So stunning, stunning, stunning. I'll mention that because sometimes I know Canada's site doesn't have it, but if you're in the States watching me, that is a really good one. Okay. So we're now done with foundations. I'll talk about concealers afterwards because this is in the order in which I put on my makeup. So the next one would be eye base, because I actually will do my eye eye makeup first, but sometimes I'll do my foundation first depending on what I'm going for that day. These are the two eye bases that I use. This is really new to me. This is the Natasha Denona eyeshadow base. It's super tiny, but it's, you know, packs a punch. I don't need a lot. I have it in the shade medium. This just kind of gives my eyes, because I do have a tint to my eyes, and this, once it's blended out, actually goes really well. This is the Nars Smudge Proof, Tinted Smudge Proof Eye Base in the shade Light. I really, really like this as well. It's worked very, very well for me. So I might have to get this one in Light because I really enjoy it. I have hooded eyes and I have kind of oilier eyelids, so that's where I'm coming from, and things generally stay put. So now we're on to eyes. When I'm talking about palettes and all that, obviously there's so much at Sephora in terms of brands and eyeshadows. For me, I'm a big lover of indie products when it comes to eyeshadows because I feel like their formulas are really cool, they have really great colors, and I like to support smaller businesses that kind of come up with that unique stories. However, there are some products that I do like, and some palettes I would recommend. If you get your hands on this one from Natasha Denona, this is one of her bigger palettes. This was like a 170 Canadian kind of thing. Luckily, I did not pay that much for it. This is the gold palette. I love the color story. I used this today. I used this shade here in my crease, and I'll show you what else I used, but this is one of my favorites. I adore this palette. Other ones, I used this today. This is the Idol from Pat McGrath. This is the shade Celestial. I used it on my inner corner today. This is just a beautiful champagne gold. I mean, it's nice. Do I think you need to have it? No, but Pat McGrath and Natasha Denona are kind of the palettes that people like to buy, especially this time of year when there is the sale, because they're a little tiny bit expensive, right? Yes. So that is a nice one. There is a product that I use on lips, cheeks, and face, and today is no exception. Today I used the shade Celebration. These are the Danessa Color Fix. These are so phenomenal. I'm so excited that she is in at Sephora now. What I do wish though is I'm hoping once that she is a success, well, she is a success already, but hopefully Sephora will extend her range of products and colors. They have some good colors now for the Color Fix, and that's fine, but they are also some really cool colors that she offers, and maybe, I don't know what the agreement was, but I find the colors in the Color Fix are very neutrally, you know, that a lot of people would like, kind of like pinks and roses and mauves and, you know, warm kind of tones. I mean, there is like a primary yellow and a primary red, but there's no blues, and there's like not really all that purples and all those funky shades that she has, like the neon ones or the limesicle or root beer or anything like that. But these ones are really great. Today, as I said, I used Celebration on the outer corner just to kind of give it a little dimension to my eye. I wanted to do something very soft and special and just glowy. And yes, so I have quite a few of them. Exposed is a really good one if you want a nice all-around one. Wild Orchid is really beautiful, deep purple, has metallic edge to it. Rustic is one of my favorites. It has like a nice burnt orange terracotta. I like her Magnetic is a really beautiful cerulean blue. Alien's a really cool foil. As I said, Root Beer, I don't think it's actually on the site. Nebula is a beautiful one as well. I've already purchased 2 of these, Lift and Primary Yellow, from the site. Those are the ones that are really kind of interest me. I might buy some other ones, but those are the ones that generally are sold out a lot of the times on other sites too. So definitely recommend those for eyes, lips, and cheeks. I have used them in all 3 places and they work beautifully. Okay, so that's for eye stuff. Let's talk about mascaras. Mascaras, to me, I'm going to be completely honest and transparent. I don't buy a lot of high-end mascaras, and if I do, a lot of times it would be in mini form. However, the one mascara that I keep going back to is this one from MAC. This is the let me make, because it has a long funky name, Extended Play Giga Black Lash, and I use this primarily on the bottom lashes, but when I want just a light fluffy kind of nice soft eye, I will use this one on the lashes, on the top lashes. Next one, I found that it was just like very kind of like serendipity a little bit. It was from Ilia. Did I get this as a point perk or something and said why not? I'm not expecting a lot from it, but I'm wearing it today on my lashes, and this just gives me a beautiful lift and length and darkening, and I have it in mini size, and it works beautifully. I absolutely love it, and I don't get a lot of smudging, which I do from some other ones I've tried. I tried the Hourglass one, don't care for it. I've tried Marc Jacobs, both don't really, they're okay. I haven't tried the new one from Lancome, the Idole, and I've tried the Bite one, which is okay as well. It is nice. I do also like the Nars Climax one once it dries out a little bit. I like drier tubing kind of fiber mascaras. Those are my typical. Okay, so eyes done, lashes done. Now let's talk about under eye. This is when I would generally conceal. I do have kind of deep set eyes, and I do have a naturally dark shadows under my eyes. So this has been a little bit of a godsend. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Corrector, and I have in the shade medium number 2. It's very kind of peachy tone. A lot of times I'll just put a little bit right where I need it in the corner here, and that's it, nothing more. And it's a nice creamy kind of texture to it, and it doesn't crease, and sometimes that's all I need and that's all I use, and I love it. It does layer well with concealers, so now this is the time where I will use my concealer once my eyes are done. There are definitely a couple of concealers I like to use, because sometimes I'll use them in the place of wearing a full face of foundation. Sometimes I don't need it or want it. So I'm taking out a whole bunch here because I love these. So if I want to use something all over the face instead of foundation, I use these two. So I love this Makeup Forever one, and I love this one by Dior. This is the Forever Skin Correct. I have it in shade 2 and 2.5. And the Makeup Forever one is the HD Light Capturing Self Setting. I have it in the shade 30. It's a little light for me right now, so sometimes I'll use it in this area, which is to kind of brighten that area. But these are fantastic for all over the face. Love them, love them, love them. Great, great for under eye. There's not a lot of concealers that can do under eye and face, and yeah. Another one that is a good staple, I have these in a couple of colors. This is the Power Fabric from Armani. Fantastic little concealer for under the eye. I absolutely love it. It's not super luminous like the Armani one, like the Luminous Silk. That one's okay. I compare that one to the Kosas one. I don't like the Kosas one at all in terms of the shade range sucks. But the Armani one I like a little bit better. Another one that I use under the eye, and you could use this on the face too, is this one from Nars. This is the Soft Matte concealer. I have this one in Creme Brulee. This is a little old, so that's why I'm not using it, but I would like to pick up a new one. I know they've extended the range in terms of colors, but this is a fantastic one. Like I said, I do use it under the eye, and I don't have any problems with that, especially want just like a little fuller coverage. And the last one I like to use, especially when I'm wearing a very light kind of dewy kind of face in terms of skincare, is this one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Magic Way Liquid Concealer. I have in the shade 4, and I'm pretty much done it. It can get a little messy and problematic. It looks gross, but I probably need a new one, and I might maybe in a different color, maybe a little bit deeper color. 4 is fine for me, dead winter, but in the summertime, it's a little too light. So those are my picks for that. Today I used the Charlotte Tilbury under eye, and then I used the Power Fabric in the shade 5.25 for under the eye as well. Okay, so we're moving right along here. So after concealing, then I'll look at blush. There's a couple of blushes that I quite like. especially when it comes to cream ones. I'm a big cream believer, and I really love these Shiseido ones. These are they're a long name too. Minimalist Whipped Powder Blush, and these are nice, creamy, kind of matte. There's some luminosity in terms of shimmer in some of them, and other ones are not. They come in this lovely little container, and they just blend into the skin like magic. They just very skin-like. I wouldn't mind picking up more, but I have about 3 colors of these, and I highly, highly recommend. Again, not super luminous like the Tower 28 ones. Those are definitely a creamy, luminous one, but these will give you just the right amount of pigment and blend into the skin. They won't sit in, and nor do they just disappear. I find the Tower 28 ones disappear. Same with the Fenty ones, which is why I'm not going to, I mean, they're good, but my favorite are the Shiseido. Okay, so if I'm not using cream, I'm going to use obviously powder. Sometimes I'll use stains, but the powder ones, I really like these. This is one from Buxom. This is the Wonderlust primer blush, I think. Yeah, primer infused blush. This is in the shade Seychelles, which is the one I'm wearing on my cheek right now, which is just a nice, natural, lovely flush, especially if you want that kind of bronzer blush. Look like you've been outdoors. This is stunning. Another blush formula that I really quite like is the Nars. This is Exhibit A, but I also have Sex Appeal and Deep Throat and a few other ones. Really, really, really love these. These are really beautiful. Just a little pinch will do you. You don't need very much. Another formula that I quite like in a powder form is this one from MAC. These are mineralized skin finish blushes. They're just soft and luminous. They also have the extra dimension ones, which are generally have a lot more shimmer to them. But if you're like me and have kind of texture or enlarged pores, you may not want a lot of shimmer on the cheek. So these are kind of a nice option that kind of give you like a glowy, there's a glowiness to them. I mentioned bronzer, and most of the time I'll put bronzer underneath before blush, and there's a couple of bronzers that I quite like. The one I'm wearing today is by RMS. It's the Baruti bronzer. This is more of a, I guess, kind of a cool tone type bronzer. It has almost like a reddish brown, almost like taupey kind of color, but it is quite lovely. It's a cream one. I like cream bronzers. Another cream bronzer I like is by Tarte. This definitely has more warmth to it. This is more neutral warm, I should say. This is the Tarte one that came out, I believe, last year. This is in the shade Breezy. Yeah, Breezy. And this is their cream bronzer. Quite nice. I love the color of it. This is like one of my favorite colors. And then for an actual bronzer, this is one of my favorite bronzers that I use over and over again, and this is from Sephora. This is their Los Cobos, and this is the medium 3. This is the bronzing face powder in a matte formulation. Quite like this a lot, and it's a good match for my skin tone. One of my favorite powders that I do like to use that I find have had very good results without looking too cakey or too creasy is this one from Hourglass. I quite like it. I just have the travel size because I don't use a lot of powder, this does me just fine. So most of the time I will use a brush like this one from Smashbox just to kind of put it in the strategic places where I find I need a little assistance. That's fantastic. So there. And now let's move on to luminizers or highlights. There's a couple of highlighters that I really like, one of which I'm not too sure if it's still out, but at the time when I bought it, it was a limited edition. This is the Amrezy by Anastasia. These are the types of colors I like, kind of like that golden champagne color. It works well with my skin tone. Another one that I quite like, especially if you have texture and don't necessarily want a lot of shimmer, are these ones from RMS. I have the Magic Luminizer, which is more of a golden champagne kind of color. They're cream based. Again, it's just more of a luminosity and a radiance to that area. And then this is the Living Luminizer, which is just kind of gives you that wet kind of glossy look. Similar vein to those would be this one from Danessa Myricks. This is the Duet in Morning Dew. This has a little bit of golden shimmer in it, but otherwise it gives you kind of that glossy, wet look on the wherever you want to highlight. One of the newer ones to me, which I quite like, and this is the one I'm wearing today, This is the Dior Skin Nude Luminizer in 01, right? 01, yeah. So this is more of that goldy champagne. I might look at getting number 3. I'm gonna hold off because I've got lots of highlighters. I don't really need them, but this is the one I'm wearing today. And then I've put a little bit of the Duet over top. So today I'm wearing this one. I really like this. For me, this is like a perfect kind of nude lip. And this is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude in Natasha 11NB. Love it. It's like a beigey coral kind of color. And this is like, for me, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Sephora has their Lip Story color collection and I really enjoy them. Really great price, really great colors. There's navy green. I've got some like brownie, burgundy, kind of like yellow tone browns. Like they just have really cool colors. And I do recommend them. They're very creamy. There's metallics, there's frosts and so forth. So you should be able to find a really great color, whatever you're kind of looking for. Another one that I quite like if you're looking for a liquid lipstick are these ones from Nars. These are the Power Mattes. I have it in Painted Black and Star Woman. This is a beautiful red. The Painted Black is a beautiful liquidy, obviously it's a liquid lipstick, but it's very thin in texture. It dries down without really giving you that butthole kind of look, you know what I mean? But it's very soft. Sometimes I'll use liquid lipsticks as a blush as well. So if I have it on my lip, I might take a brush, just kind of swirl around any kind of excess there and just put it right to the cheek. Other times I'll put a little bit on my hand, mix it with a little foundation or kind of a cream, and then make it a little more emollient. Again, put it on my cheek. So they have a little bit of versatility there. And yeah, I think does that kind of pretty much cover everything. I don't use setting sprays. Again, I don't really powder a lot. But one thing that's worth a mention is definitely this brush that I like to use under the eye. This is from Sephora. This is their Pro Airbrush Concealer in number 57. I don't know if they still have it or not, but it's worth a look. But I quite like it. So yeah, I think that is pretty much everything. Some things that I'm looking to get, I've already purchased, as I said, 2 of the color fixes at this point in time. I have some playtime as to thinking about what other things I want to get, of which I might get the new Makeup Forever foundation. I might look at the new Givenchy foundation, and then some Vision cream colors from Danessa, the blush kind of ones that are a little sheerer. There's not much I want to get, to be honest with you, because I've purchased quite a bit of makeup and I'm trying to really scale it back. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment, to be honest with you. So I hope this was helpful, and just again some of my suggestions. I know there's plenty of videos out there suggesting. None of this is sponsored by Sephora. I'm just doing this. I don't have affiliate links or anything, so I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew there's other alternatives out there than their typical kind of brands that people talk about. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoy. Have a wonderful week and weekend. Enjoy. It's, as I said, it's stunning here, so I don't want to spend the remainder of the time indoors. And I'll see you soon. Bye.